Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 300 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news, culture, and gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week not by Mr. Moody, but by Joe Medforce, the amazing, wonderful Joe Medforce.
At last, I have returned. I know you're all clamoring for it, but life happens, and clearly, as you can understand, it sometimes affects voices. I've had this on and off, but there's, just not even absurd reasons, just dumb reasons behind it this time. However, when called upon to hear that because of exciting new life changes, one Daffod, Mr. Moody, was not able to step in.
Yeah.
It had to be done. Plus, we got a lot to talk about, don't we, Amy?
We've got a lot to talk about, and that's just in the first 15 minutes of banter. When Moody told me he wasn't going to be able to be here for this episode 300, we were in a Discord call, pretty much like this, just chattering away, less light because we don't have all the lights on when we're just hanging out. But I said, quote, and I quote, because he said you're going to need to find a replacement, and I said, "There's only one man for the job."
Oh. And it's oh god, I was about to make a terrible joke,
and I got him. I got the man, the one man for the job. I said to him when we were streaming last night, and I said to him, all I said to him was, "Moody, I was saying like there's only one man I can get to replace you." And he went, "Yeah," and I went, "I got him," and he went, "Sweet."
And then he said, "Wait, it's not non-binary Queen James Stephanie Sterling." Damn.
There wouldn't be a podcast, Joe, because if James Stephanie Sterling and all their non-binary finery ever turned up on this podcast, I would die.
I would die too. I'd want to be here just so I could die and then just immediately leave the Discord call because I'd be like,
I might work on that for episode 400. Like, let's get the numbers up a bit,
yeah. Here's what I'll say is, aim for 400 by 500. Like for episode 500.
Yeah, 500.
Like it's gonna happen. I think it's almost written in the stars.
Halfway to 1,000. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
In the meantime, we've got to put up with boring old me.
Don't ever, never. There's only one man for the job, Joe. That's what I said. You can ask him yourself. That's it. Word for word what I said. And then, it's episode 300. He didn't realize when he told me he couldn't turn up. He realized like a day later. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna miss the 300th episode." I was like, "Yeah." And I think, judging from our conversation, I think he thought I was gonna absolutely fucking slay him. For the entire opening of the podcast, for just being like, it's episode 300. I know we said we weren't.
Under normal circumstances, you would.
And I know we said we weren't doing anything special because it's just a news podcast, but you could have at least turned up. Blah blah blah. I think that's where he thinks I was going to go with this. And I thought about it. I really did. I wrote some notes. Like it was going to be like a roast.
I wrote 7 scathing pages.
I wrote many pages of scathing, vitriolic notes. And then I just decided to say, Moody, we're all very proud of you. I know you're listening, because you said you would. And we love you very much.
We love you so much, man. And we all need that win sometimes. And I really hope, because at the start of it, it most certainly is. You've got this, man.
Hell yeah, you
Congratulations.
did. You did it. Now just continue to be your awesome self, and you'll absolutely crush it. You will.
And presumably we'll hear more about it when he's on.
When he's got the time.
Episode.
Yeah.
When he's got the time, yeah. Fantastic.
And then I thought, it's episode 300. I should make an effort for myself, right? I've pulled some locks off on this podcast before, but I want to go for it. And then my hair was a mess, so I'm wearing a hair. But you can't really see it, but I'm wearing a cool hairband with it's got like a bow on the top of it.
I thought it was ears. It's
like a bow. If I go up, you can see it. It's very cute, isn't it? Yeah. So
if you bow up,
I did. I bought. And then I was like, I'm gonna put a dress on. I put my nice dress on, and then I put the boots on because there's boots that go with the dress, as far as in my head.
All right. I wasn't gonna do this, but I'll do it now because otherwise, because I was like, well, I wore this all yesterday, but no, we got to do something special.
Got to do something special. Yeah,
we got to. I know my T-shirt is cool, and we'll talk about it. But like,
hell yeah, we will. Yeah, I did all this effort, and I did it and then I was like, I got through it.
Done my hair.
And then I went, wait a minute, you're on the podcast, you dumbass. No one can see the bottom half of you. So I took the boots off, and I'm still wearing the dress because it's pretty and I like it. But
good.
Then I thought to myself, you know what? We really need to kick this outfit up a notch. So we're gonna kick this outfit up a notch.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah. What is it they say about people who wear sunglasses indoors?
They say that only the coolest people do it.
Only the coolest people do it. Now everybody can see where my Chromebook sits every episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They get the reflection of the dock in the screen.
Now, with all of that being said, I don't want to be accused of being a terrible host. Joe, how are you?
I am croaky, but extremely happy because as we record this, you're hearing it on Monday or Sunday after that. It is Sunday, and I have had a crazy week and weekend, culminating in a concert, going to see a band called Spectre, who you should definitely check out if you like, dope like indie rock and roll music. They've been around a minute, but this is about games, not about music. I went to their big kind of almost comeback show last night, and I just had the best time. And
that's awesome.
And I wasn't planning, because I've seen them twice in recent memory. I wasn't planning on screaming along to things and shouting and being all singy and crazy, but I did. And many libations were had. Much post-gig revelry also occurred.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I went to see Churches a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the same boat. I thought I was just going to be like, I'm just going to go there and have a good time. No. You get into it. You're at a gig. You're at your live music.
And then it's like, the mother man,
everybody's around you. The energy is going, and
I would love to see churches, as I like to call them.
I'll tell you what, the first time I'd ever seen them, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, by this point they've really got it down. It seems.
Highly recommend it. Yeah, but this part of the podcast is about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Hell yes, yes.
People dig this part of the podcast. So
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Up front, then, do you want to? In addition to being like, why did he say he wore this sequin jacket all yesterday? Shall I kind of blitz through the other things I was doing this week? And because it's kind of news, kind of not. I know. It might lead into some stuff.
Is it the stuff that we've got already in the notes?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Because it is.
Of course, it is there. Oh, it is part one. I forgot. You classified it. You classified it.
Classified it.
News. You've classified. I was going very.
Calcified.
You've classified it just like we do in the south of England.
That's what we do. We do that in the north of England as well.
I know. It's actually to create some further mystique, and I'll just put this.
Oh hell yeah! Now you look like a VIP. See, I love how.
We're gonna get to talk about that.
I love how our look is just evolving as this podcast goes on.
You know what? It is gonna grow and evolve.
I'm wondering if I can somehow balance my font sign, on the
microphone.
I
love that so much. I at times I have balanced Waluigi atop my microphone as well. It's not gonna work now because it's not.
I keep
level.
it. Hey! I keep it in front of me in case of emergencies. It always makes Moody laugh because he'll say something and I'll just it's my that's what she said, even though I also say that's what she said.
But you can just point to it now and then just say, and if I'm continue to speak, I'll say Amy is now pointing at the sounds gay I'm in sign.
Sounds gay.
Because for those who are listening just the audio version, it is of course the sounds gay I'm in.
Got my pronouns badge. Maybe I can just wear it. It's like a just really fucking go for it, gay.
I would really
me queer.
I need to.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. Straight as an arrow.
Oh my god,
that's been snapped in half.
That's great.
I was talking to somebody. So I've been chatting to somebody, and there was this incident on a Phasmophobia game once with Ryan and Moody, and I stole it. Long story short, I stole a demon's stuffed toy, and as I was running away, I was like, "Come on, Mrs. Snugglebutt, you're coming with me." And I told someone this story last week, and they said. I told them the whole story, the whole shebang. It's a whole like deep lore words about games because it was a whole incident, and the only question they had was, how did you come up with the name Mrs. Snugglebutt? And like, I just do things and say things in the I don't know where this stuff comes from.
Oh, no. Yeah, there was so much of that this weekend. I was on another level, and it's the come down from it today. But yeah, there is. At this point, I think people are stopping to ask where it comes from. They're like, it's just who this weird, like, loud, hairy goblin is. Like, it's just
this weird, loud, hairy, amazing goblin.
And so, yeah. And also, speaking of aesthetic and fit,
sure,
I have to address the fact that it looks like a guitar is sticking out of my head. Otherwise, it'll distract me for the whole goddamn vibe. And then you also, yeah.
Do you want me to do the
episode 300?
Episode 300, baby.
Featuring all the right and wrong things happening out of focus in the background. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing. Waiting for a star to fall.
I love this episode already.
Nintendo Switch, which was on the floor. I'm an idiot. Na, 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 na.
I love the Lego head in the background, by the way.
I think we're starting things off with a bang, clearly. Don't worry, I can't play you any songs with my croaky voice because this is
it's an actual Guitar Hero guitar. Oh my god!
I've got two. One, this is one, and the other one, which is in the living room, has a Taylor Swift faceplate.
That's even. Oh my god! Really? Shit!
Because she was in Band Hero and was like had her songs and was like in the game.
Sure.
There's an amazing advert which you can Google. You like Taylor Swift Band Hero commercial advert or whatever. It's her singing, You Belong With Me in a dress that is kind of like this.
Oh my god.
And she has Travis Barker on the drums, on the band, rock band, Band Hero drums.
Sure.
Pete Wentz on the bass, and Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, Travis, of course, from Blink-182. So she has some of the most important members of these huge pop punk bands, emo bands, like being her backup band for a commercial for an Activision game, Band Hero.
Oh wow!
It is a relic of the like mid 2000s that is so perfect in its like capitalistic, excess and absurdity. It's like, how did this happen? They just made it happen.
Time is a funny thing, isn't it? Like,
it really is.
But I have a new goal. I talk about this on the podcast sometimes. Like, I make goals, for my life. I've just added one in my head, which is one day, you and I, Joe, are going to play Guitar Hero together.
Yes, we will play Guitar Hero, Rock Band, whatever iteration.
On a live stream. Let's fucking do it. Let's.
I mean, a friend of mine, Tracy Ramone, no relation to the band of the
Wait,
what? Tracy Ramone, the lesser known of the
sure.
The band. I saw her very well doing. It's her and her husband in the same house in different rooms, doing with a full band. Like a Rock Band 4 stream, because Rock Band 4 I think still has the online play capability, something like that.
Sure.
Oh no, or at least you can still download the DLC packs and tracks for Rock Band 4. So actually, I might need to migrate over to that. But I have been absurdly collecting many.
I have so many Rock Band DLCs from back in the day.
I do not. The thing is, I think they all carry over and can be played in Rock Band 4. I think that was one of the benefits of Harmonix before they were acquired by Epic Games and just make jingles for Fortnite now, which is one of the saddest things to happen in modern society. Anyways,
acquisitions.
Acquisitions. Wait.
Anyway.
Not always bad, but sometimes bad. Speaking of bad,
Speaking of bad, let's start the show. What a perfect segue. It even says, let's start the show there. But there's one thing I got to do first.
Do it.
It's Monday. You know what that means. Moody would be very angry with me if nobody said it. This is the Words About Games podcast. Every Monday, you can get a video version of the show on youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk or an audio version on a variety of platforms, including Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and a few platforms that we never even heard of. There's timestamps in the description wherever you choose to get your podcast, so you can see what we've been chatting about, you can skip around, or you can watch the entire thing backwards. We don't mind, we're just happy that you're here. If you'd like to support the show or our content directly, you can buy us a coffee over at coffee.com/wordsaboutgames. And lastly, if you want to hang out with us while we play some games, head over to twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. If you want to hear us talk about and review some video games, we publish reviews over on the YouTube channel. I am starting a brand new project on Twitch this week. I'm very excited. It was supposed to happen last week. I got very sick. It didn't. I pushed it back. But you know what? I'm very excited. It's going to be a long project. It's a series of Twitch streams that's going to become a big YouTube video, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm teasing it now. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet.
So they best be following on twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames and youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk.
You're going to want to.
That's to be done.
I've gone insane. It's the only way to describe it. That's the only way.
It's the only way to live. It's the only way to live.
Let's get this show on the road. Most of the first part of this podcast, I'm not going to lie, is pretty much about the man sitting next to me in the fabulous jacket, Joe Medforce. Joe, you went to WASD London this past week.
A man who, amongst all else, is known for being a huge PC gamer.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Two hardcore PC gamers sat right here. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I love me some computer game.
My PC gaming roots showing behind me right here.
To be fair, I did do a fair bit of PC gaming back in the day when I just had like a Nintendo Wii and stuff like that. You know, playing Modern Warfare 2, Team Fortress 2, very cool. You know, a ton of other games like that. Counter-Strike I was into as well. For a minute there. Counter-Strike Source for those nerds out there who care.
If you're of a certain age, you played Counter-Strike. I think that's just a thing.
Oh, 100%. TeamSpeak, come on.
TeamSpeak,
Discord,
baby.
It was TeamSpeak.
Ventrilo servers.
Oh, you know it. So I literally about a week ago heard that this was happening. Because, of course, I hadn't heard about it because it's technically a new festival, WASD, in London. They're WASD live on most of their socials if you want to go and check them out. Cool. Or just Google WASD live. You'll find it at the Tobacco Dock in London. I found out about it through a friend who I made. Going back to the music, we're both fans of this band, Enter Shikari. He lives a stone's throw away from me now. He's moved here from down under. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I do PR for Team 17," and I was like, "What?"
Okay, yeah, sure.
I was like, I guess we're gonna become best friends then. you never getting rid of me. Never getting rid of me. And he said that he was excited to be going to his first live event again, WASD. And I was like, "Oh man, maybe I should go. Come say hey, right, at the Team 17 booth, play some games or whatever." And then I applied for a press pass 3 days before the event at 11:30 at night. At about 9 a.m. the next morning, I had a message from one of the, promoters, organizers, whoever, saying like, "Hey, here's your press pass." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, clearly they're gonna let anyone in, not in a bad way, but as a new event. It's EGX Res used to be in London around this time of year.
I tried multiple times to go to EGX Res. The last time I tried to go to EGX Res, there was a global pandemic. Had a hotel booked and everything. It was going to be awesome.
No.
I found a cheap hotel in Leicester Square. Leicester Square, Joe. It was right there.
That would have been so good.
It was going to be a great weekend.
Well, I know we hadn't met.
We could have maybe met. Yeah, we could have met.
But again, I wasn't even doing this back then. So yeah, crazy times. I was honestly really happy because this is the first gaming event I've ever been to. At Joe Medforce, press and creator. I love that they lumped them together, so I'm both press and a creator. But it was super cool. I went down there on Thursday early because I was like, it's a sunny day. I want to get the lay of the land. I've never been to this specific area of London apart from checking out the Tower of London, which is just down the road from.
Sure.
And went and got my. What are you looking for?
I'm looking. So I have a press pass from an EGX I went to a few years ago. I was just seeing if I could spot it.
Yeah.
It's around here somewhere, but
You're all good. You're all good. So yeah, I went and got my little wristband and a pass. You had to have.
You have to have both.
The wristbands they were checking more, but the pass is more of an identifier, I guess. And I got there, like, as the event was winding down for the day. They said, yeah, quiet first day. I said hi to people at Team 17, had a bit of a walk around. It was like, oh my God, this is cool. It was kind of empty because people just had already been and gone. Saw a friend. And then they were finishing up the day. And most of the people who were working there were going to these, or a fair few of the people were going to the industry drinks. Industry being a separate track from creator and press. I was like, well, yeah, I guess I had done everything so last minute. I hadn't thought to apply for like an industry drinks wristband or ticket or whatever. But I was like, maybe if I just hang around, maybe there'll be a spare or something. But everyone I was speaking to was like, we have had to beg, borrow, and steal industry drinks tickets from the people at the front. Like, they are gold dust. No chance. I was like, I'd resign myself. But I am nothing if not a fucking chancer. Yeah. I can charm my way into anything I feel like. And earlier on, I had gotten some food, a hot dog, which was delicious, but I was just wandering around on my own, not wearing this jacket at this time, in a different bomber jacket, the Zelda shirt on. I was like, oh yeah, I might as well get a drink while I'm here. Went to the bar, and there was no, I'm telling all of the long story on this, but who cares?
Do it. Tell a long story.
I went to the bar to go get a drink. Two guys in front of me ordered, and then a security guard who was inside the bar was like, to the guys who just ordered, lads, you're gonna have to down those because the industry drinks thing's happening. And they were starting to like get the plebeians out of the bar, Sure. Which is fair enough. And I was like, thank you, nice security lady who wasn't speaking to me. I now will not purchase a beer and not be able to savor it and enjoy it with my hot dog. And then I walked away with my sad, lonely hot dog, like the dun, 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 the sad hot music plays. Yeah. Hot dog
sad
hot
dog music, yeah.
It's sad hot dog music. Exactly. Everyone knows it. So fast forward, of course, to me, Team 17 were joking with me like, your t-shirt's almost the same color. They were wearing a dark green. Mine was a slightly different shade of dark green. I was like, yeah, I'll just, saunter on in with Team 17 and hope for the best, right? And what happened was the same security lady was checking the wristbands on the door. Diligently so. Great security team there throughout the whole weekend. They did a really good job. And she was checking their wristbands. I was like, no, I've got one. I guess I should. And she was like, are you going? And I was like, yeah, I guess I. And then a hand reaches out and unfurls, and within it is this industry drinks wristband ticket, which she just gave to me after that conversation early on, and the running joke for the rest of the night with the open bar. So all drinks were free for those who don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, baby.
Was that I had flirted my way into the industry drinks.
If you know what, I can believe it. I can believe no. Like if anybody I know is going to flirt their way past a security guard,
with a security guard to smooch their way. I had a brief interaction coming out of the loo with Gav from RKG. He was there for doing an event thing. Simro Gav on Twitter, formerly of I think those guys used to be IGN, right? IGN UK. Anyways, he's cool. I had a chat with previous story from a previous episode of Words About Games I was on, Chris Bratters.
Chris Bratt.
I stopped short of getting a photo because at the industry drinks, that's not the place to ask for a photo.
No, you don't get the selfies. No,
I was like, I just got to be cool. So I was just like, hey, love People Make Games, Chris. Everyone go check out People Make Games. They just put out an incredible video on, obviously, trigger warning for, abuse and workplace, mismanagement of power, all this sort of stuff. They just put out investigating 3 acclaimed indie superstars of abuse. Creator of Florence, What's her face from
Phenomena.
Watam and Phenomena person.
Should know
Robin
this.
Haneke.
Robin Haneke.
Robin
We covered this on the podcast. The other one was Fulbright, wasn't it?
Fulbright, yes. And I forget that lad's name.
Steve Gaynor.
Steve Gaynor, that was it. Yeah. Anyways, I had a chat with him, made a bunch of new friends, hung out with my friend Rahul, who was there as well. Cute pictures on my Twitter and Instagram. Go check them out. And proceeded to take full advantage of the open bar on a Thursday night when I had work the next morning. And much fun was had by all. And then yesterday, I couldn't go in on the Friday. It was a good thing I didn't, because I was like, oh, work, life, why did I drink so much? No hangovers since I turned 30, though, just groggy. It was all good. And yeah, yesterday was my full day. I got there at like early in the morning. I was like, you know what? I wanna dress up. I wanna stand out. Sequin jacket, Medforce shirt underneath it is what I had. And it was just, and it was a sunny day, and it's kind of like an open air venue ish. So like the booths are like glass in this steel structure, and it was windy on the previous day or whatever, but it was just a nice sunny day. So everyone was like, we can see you wherever you go, because I was the most reflective human being there.
Now,
legitimately, yeah.
I need to pause you for a second, Joe.
Do it.
I just looked on your Twitter, and I'm seeing things that I hadn't seen. I've been a bit laid low on the social media for the past few days. It's always a good idea, but I'm looking at a clip starring you and one Mike Bithell. And I have a funny Mike Bithell story as well.
Oh my god, amazing! Let's tell our funny Mike Bithell story. You go first.
What's going to happen right now is I'm going to get this clip and I'm going to put it right here.
I'll give you the original file.
Even better, and then people are going to see it because it's amazing. I can't even hear it, but it's amazing. I'm going to watch it in its full glory after this podcast. Yeah, so.
Exactly. Yeah, amongst other things, apart from gallivanting around, I met Mike Bithell. And what's your Mike Bithell story?
Well, so my Mike Bithell story. So the first ever EGX I went to was down in London. It was at Earl's Court. Rest in peace. It was years and years ago. He was making Volume, and I had just played Thomas Was Alone. Days before I'd gone down. It was like the game I think I just played. So I was a big fan. And I was playing Volume, and then it was early. It was like one of the first games I'd played, and I got off the thing, and then someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, so how did you find the game?" Turn around. It's Mike fucking Bithell. I'm just standing in front of Mike Bithell. And naturally, I did what anyone would do in that situation. I just went, I broke one of the levels this way. Okay, bye. And then I just ran off. That was it. I panicked. Okay, I panicked. I told a game creator that I respected a great deal, and I basically just said I broke your game and then ran. So he was there the next year with Volume again, and I was like, I'm gonna make it up to myself. I'm gonna have a 10-second conversation with Mike Bithell where I just say hello and tell him I'm a big fan, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I went and played Volume again. I played the demo 3 times through because he wasn't there when I got there. So I was like, well, I'm just going to keep playing it, and I'm just going to keep playing it. And then it got really awkward. People started waiting for it. So I was like, I just got to stand up. And I was like, I'll wait. You know what? I'll wait. I'll just watch people play Volume, and I'll just wait. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I started talking to somebody who was stood next to me. Didn't know who they were. Just chattering away. And then she talks about she makes puppets, like hand puppets and stuff. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm having a great conversation here.
Yeah.
With someone for a good 10, 20 minutes. And then she says, what do you do? And I said, at that time, I was a blogger. I wasn't a content creator or anything. It's like, I'm a blogger. I do blog about games, stuff like that. Still call blogs about games.
You did create content though.
Yeah.
On the blog.
Well, I didn't call it. No one called. I don't think it was 20. I want to say it was 2014. I don't think anyone called themselves a content creator.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, very true. Very true.
And I just said, yeah, I'm a blogger. Like, oh, what do you do? And it's like she just stood there and it's like, Oh yeah, I think it was Mike's girlfriend. Partner. We'll go with partner. She might have said fiance. I'm not sure. And I was like, hello. Do you know when Mike's getting back?
Oh,
Nailed it.
You shot your shot. That's what you got to do.
I did. Unfortunately, he wasn't going to be there for a while, so I never got. I still, Mike, you're in this. You're pretty much in this podcast. If you're somehow watching it, I don't know why you would, but if you're somehow watching it, please. I am so sorry for what I said 9 years ago. I one day hope to make it up to you if I ever get to meet you again.
Don't even worry about it.
You won't remember me. I was a whole agenda back then. It was a whole thing. I was going through a phase, you know.
Amazing.
So anyway, yes. Please continue telling your story.
I played some amazing games. We'll talk. This is words about games. Let's talk about the games I played.
Hell yeah.
I played, and I hadn't looked this game up again. It was like Samurai something 3, but it was like absurd. I have a badge for it. It looked cool. And,
okay. Samurai Warrior 3?
Samurai Warrior? Was it Samurai Warrior?
There is a Samurai Warrior 3. It just came out last month, maybe.
That was it. See, when I search Samurai Warrior 3, it gives me Samurai Warriors 3, like the Warriors game.
Yeah, sure.
It's not what I'm looking for. But yeah, it was that one, and it was well good. And I was like, but I got to play the game for like, Shadow Warrior 3, I think it was. Yeah, that's it. Shadow Warrior 3. That's it. Shadow Warrior 3. Great game for the 30 seconds I got to play of the game before it launched into a Kojima-like cutscene, and I was like, I'm not here to watch cutscenes. I'm here to play games. I'm here to be a general nuisance and play games.
Yes.
And, but
general nuisance, I love it.
It was great. I went to the Devolver booth, didn't play anything, but had fun because they had like some cool neon signs and stuff like that. All of this will be on youtube.com/Joe Medforce in some form or another, if I can cut it down. I got a cool WASD pin badge at the end of the day, and games I did play and like. It's time for swag. So swag is not something I've experienced truly.
Swag is important.
Most any event. I've been to very few events. I do not play many 2K games, but a nice steelbook of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is a nice steelbook of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Very nice steelbook. Going to put a random Blu-ray in there.
Sure,
I don't have the case for or something. Maybe I'll just put like, some complete. No, you know what? I might buy like what was that bad like dragon movie? The Reign of Fire. Just buy Reign of Fire.
Do it, yeah.
For no reason. And Rey Mysterio on the apparently not too bad W2K22. So I've got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands bag. I have. If anyone wants a spare set of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands playing cards, I have 2 of them. They are all purple, and I will keep one just to have a deck of cards in my flat. They're classic deck of cards.
They actually look really good.
To be honest, they are for pieces of cardboard that is a deck of cards. For the Jack and the Ace and everything, they got like the character art that's really cool. It's cool. It's cool. Who's the Joker? It's some purple witch who looks super cool, I imagine. I did not play that game. I lounged on their sofa as I launched into the day and met a cool guy called Joel, who goes by online as Tech Jammo. And I didn't have business cards prepared for this. Why would I? I didn't think I was going to go meeting anyone in person. I tell people sometimes about my nonsense, and they're like, "Who's Waluigi?"
Dead to me. If anyone ever said that to me, it's like, that's it, we're done. Sorry.
So what I did instead was I came up with, on the day, the genius idea of writing my bullshit in my child's hand on Pokemon cards that I had spare.
I'm going to be honest, yeah. That is, if when we meet at, like, say, an industry thing, like we go to EGX when it's on, and we meet, and you say, "Oh, do you want a business card?" Like, that's what I would expect.
To be fair, however, I did figure it out. This is what I will work on with it. I'll find an artist who I want to do it. A Joe Medforce Pokemon card is the answer for like actual business cards, right?
Yeah,
just like with attacks and like just like
that's fantastic. do that. That's so Joe Medforce.
Yeah, Joe Medforce used Waluigi cosplay. It was very effective.
Oh God, I forgot
Should
about
not
that.
do that voice with this.
I
Anyways,
know. Wow. No, I remember the stream you did.
so many streams, so many streams. This was the program sponsored by 2 Point Campus from Sega. Sega was there. You can see that in the Mike Bithell video you saw earlier. But they did have a ton of cool talks on, none of which I went to because I was too busy just like flaunting around.
I always find that like that's the one thing I want to do but never get around to.
One thing I did laugh at, to be fair, was the fireside chat on the day I was there at 11 a.m. with Ali A. I was like, what is he? What's
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure he had many fascinating things to say, but like that's for the kids, really, isn't it? Like that's
Probably.
I mean, he's been a very successful creator, so good on him. Good on him. But yeah, and it's nice that they went. They could have just like say, "Hey, download this thing on your phone," but like a physical program for something, even if it is less of a show guide and more of a 2 Point Campus ad.
Sure.
Capitalism, right?
Sure.
But yeah, I did play again. Yeah, so your drum roll, top 3 games or maybe more of the WASD that Joe went to. Here we go. So, let's talk about, first of all, I played this game called Scathe. This is an honorable mention. Scathe is a bullet hell, Doom-style first-person shooter, which has a feature for those gorehounds out there, if you love your horror, of when blood and viscera gets on your HUD, on your screen, on your visor of your sort of like, or your face of your super soldier or whatever. You can press F on PC and a different button to like wipe it off. And there's a dedicated button for that, and that is super
Love
cool.
it.
And I died, and my friend Paul laughed at me, understandably so.
I have so
Then,
we need to do a story swap of like shows because I got so many stories.
oh, I bet you do. I bet you do. Monstrum 2.
I've heard of this game. Yeah, I've heard. I think I've heard of the first one.
I had not, but I was charmed by the lovely Adam, who is the director at Junkfish Games, and he was like, "Yeah, you want to try it out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." And I even got a freaking mouse pad. I didn't have a mouse pad until yesterday, so I've got the Bagra, who was the monster I played as in this like 1v up to 4. I think it's 4. Actually, the bullet points are on here. I can literally be accurate. Monstrum 2 is a survival horror game for 2 to 5 players, set inside a procedurally generated sea labyrinth sparrow log. Join a team of prisoners evading the terrors within, whilst figuring out how to escape or become one of the deadly monstrosities whose only goal is to hunt them down. It's targeting. It's in early access on Steam. You can. They're hoping for like a September proper launch, right in time for Halloween, hopefully in October. I had a lot of fun being a monster, like crawling around and being on ceilings and being like, ah! And I was gonna love it no matter what. That was really good fun, especially since usually I think you'd have a split voice channel, but it was just one open voice channel, so I could hear them planning things, but also hear them in my headset being scared as hell of me coming after them.
That's the experience. That's what you want.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. I played a game that a lot of people have played and enjoyed, Power Wash Simulator.
Cool. Yeah.
I hadn't played it before. They gave me gnome stickers. I immediately see the appeal and why people stream it.
Yeah. One of my friends streams that.
I totally get it now. I totally get it. I was pleased to try it out. What else have I got badges for? Trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten. Almost certainly there is.
That's why you subscribe to youtube.com/Joe Medforce.
Exactly. Okay, no, I've remembered now. So another honorable mention, really. But Monstrum's in the top 3. That's the third. We Were Here Forever, which is the sequel to We Were Here 2, We Were Here Together, and then We Were Here Forever. It is a cooperative puzzle game with a very cool sticker about apparently leaving your friend in jail or some nonsense. I wasn't successful. I think it was the pressure of the show floor. But
there is pressure. There is a lot of pressure.
I vibed well before I went and had lunch. With We Were Here Together from developers in, I believe it is Rotterdam. So definitely go and check them out. And if you happen to be in Netherlands for TwitchCon, you might be able to go say hi to them if you decide to make a trip out of it. Let's go with the game that's already out, but I had yet to play. Grapple Dog. It was the only booth with 2 Nintendo Switches set up, so you freaking know that I was there speaking to Toad's Anime, aka Ryan, from Super Rare Games.
Love Ryan.
Ryan's great. I was like, oh my god, Grapple Dog is amazing. I'm bad at it right now, but I can't wait to not be bad at it. And my true game of the show, which is a diamond in the rough, is Bullion. A game I'd never heard of.
Never heard of
this
one.
The subtitle is The Curse of the Cutthroat Cattle. And as you may be able to see, I'll give this one the close-up.
Let's see my keyboard.
Yeah, Bullion, Curse of the Cutthroat Cattle. It's focusing on other things. There we go.
There we go.
Well, that's Captain Long John Silverside. And there is, Beefy Stew is another one of the characters' names. Like, they're all puns, they're all pirates, and it is a local multiplayer, grab as much loot as you can while fighting off hordes of skeleton pirates with your friends kind of thing. There's also like a boss mode where you're all meant to try and take down a tank of a boss together. And it was just dumb fun. I just had a really good time. I love local multiplayer. Had my one friend screaming at me because I was dying over and over again and not helping out the team. It was it's classic. It's going to be coming to Nintendo Switch when it's being made by a very small development team in London called I've forgotten the name of the team, but if you go to bulliongame.com, you can find out all about it.
I am there. So it is Leader Entertainment. I've just watched the trailer.
Yeah, isn't it like it's got that N64 charm to the graphics? Like, looks fun. You're not gonna get 4K ray tracing or nothing, but I'm sure once it's finished, it will look and sound the part of a game where you play as cattle on the high seas. I'm trying to get all the treasure, all the loot, all the gold, me hearties. And it was it was just a grand old time. I had a really good time, and I'm right now attempting to do the thing in this back heater thing that I ended up purchasing for a price I probably could have got cheaper online, but I was charmed by the demo, and we're doing it, we're breaking it, and it's doing the thing. It's doing the thing you've all been waiting for.
That's satisfying.
Oh, so satisfying.
That looks
to watch.
Really satisfying.
I did it in the middle, so it would be like
sorry, audio listeners, but you're missing out on some premium video content right now.
And go to youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk so you can see the satisfying heating of this pad, which I'm going to stick around my back. And basically, shout out to Click Heat and also Wonder Pack. This is a Click Heat pad that I purchased, not sponsored.
Nothing on this podcast is ever sponsored.
Exactly. But I got a cool Junkfish bag as well. Everyone
Junkfish,
who are making Monstrum DOS and other games. And I'm gonna stick this around my back and enjoy the soothing heat for the rest of the podcast.
Soothe that back.
Soothe my ailing wounds. And do you want me to roll right into the next one?
Let's do it. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just keep this party rolling.
So, a motion picture came out. A motion picture. The best of the year so far. The Batman I Hear You Cry? Nah. That was out a couple months ago. It's overrated. Don't at me, but do. I will tell you why it's okay that you enjoyed the bad, dark Batman film that I did not like. What I did enjoy, sorry for the Velcro.
That's fine.
I've got to go fast. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The most successful video game movie of all time. Boom. As of right now. Boom. The best opening weekend of any video game movie ever, I should say, as is told on Eurogamer by Vicky Blake. The Blue Blur is on course to top 54.4 million during its opening weekend. Has allegedly enjoyed and the best opening weekend. It's not just about the money. Oh, interestingly, This makes it Jim Carrey's biggest American domestic opening as well, eclipsing Bruce Almighty, which grossed 68 million during its opening weekend in the States.
Wow.
And it's Paramount's fifth number one movie in the pandemic. Kudos to Paramount for putting out a movie. You know, you don't care about the numbers, you care about a movie. Is it good? Yes.
Is it good?
And no.
Ooh.
But that's part of why it fucking is great. I just had fun. I miss having fun at the cinema. It's a family film. If you've got kids or you have a child inside of you, like I do, who was a Nintendo kid, but still loved playing Sonic on, you know, my friend's Sega Mega Drive back in the day. It really, it does something which I don't think a lot of films based on existing properties have always managed to do well, and that is putting references in that aren't just for references' sake.
Oh my god!
And
what? People still make movies like that?
This movie's first and foremost goal is entertainment. Do all the jokes land? No, of course they don't. Is Jim Carrey the perfect Dr. Robotnik? Partially because not all the jokes land and some of them will be dated in a few years? Yes. Yes, yeah, that's exactly it. Genuinely, like, I'm going to go see it again. And I can't. I just think if you want a damn good time, you know, get if you're a grown person, an adult, get a group of friends together. You know, get a little buzzed in whatever way you want to. If you do so responsibly, you know, and just go watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and you will. I defy you to not have a good time. If you don't, where's the joy in your heart? It is not for people who are looking for a one-to-one video game movie adaptation, because one of the best scenes in this movie has nothing to do with Sonic at all, and it's just shot really well and it's hilarious. It's a B-plot about a character's wedding, and I was like, this is ripped from a completely different movie that I also want to see, but it works. Sometimes it works in spite of everything you're seeing in front of yourself. Like, for me, you know, another big movie based on a property, nerdy, you're like, The Batman, 3 hours of it. Sonic is like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe. And no, it's not even 2.5 hours. It's just over 2 hours, I think. Anyways, somewhere between, shorter than The Batman. I was entertained for the entire time of that movie, of the movie. I was having fun. And that was not the case with Batman. I know that's not the design of it, and they're not a one-to-one comparison, but I just think that sometimes, especially for a franchise like Sonic, which we're going to see more of now, which I'm very excited for, actually embracing the mess of it all is what you should do, rather than trying to make this polished, pristine, faithful, we're going to please all the fans because there's no way you're ever going to, thing. And I think it will stand as one of my movies of the year, just because even though quality-wise in terms of its, you know, script and jokes and whatever, and, you know, is everything in it perfect? No, but that's why I love it. Excellent. Go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Go put more money in the Blue Blur's pocket. Go support big Hollywood movies. Also go see The Worst Person in the World if you haven't. It's a delightful indie movie from Oslo about turning 30 and not knowing what to do with your life. And that is the second best movie I've seen this year. No, it's about level and level. It's so good.
I feel attacked.
It spoke to me greatly. No, it's so
no, like it's a famous thing me and Moody talk about a lot, because he used to run a movie podcast, and it used to be like, how many movies do I see in a year? Probably like 6. But he kept inviting me on his podcast. And it'd be like,
Sonic
what do you think of this movie? And I'd be like,
Sonic is one of the 6 you should see.
What are the controls like? I don't know. Like, what's it?
Why isn't I'm pressing up, but they're going down? What's happening?
There's some input lag or something. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Like, I fully intend to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. At some point, I fully intend to see Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Still haven't seen that yet. But no, that's cool. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, you're right. Like, movies, like, I mean, I tend towards watching probably what you can, like, you'd probably call it like Oscar bait movies, where it's like serious movies, like, a lot. Like,
but that's great though. Like, I'm trying to watch more of those movies now because I kind of have neglected them over the years.
Yeah. No, I mean that's totally cool. Like, it's the so I went to university to study writing for film, so it's the
I studied
university.
film studies at university as well.
It's the university snob in me that's just like, I'm going to. Do you want to watch like Sonic the Hedgehog, or do you want to watch Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, about a woman who's, and it's just like, I'll choose the depressing one, which is a really 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 good movie. Um, but
It is.
like,
It is rather good.
movies can just be fun. Like it, to bring this across to video games a second, because I make this point a lot with video. I play a lot of video games, Joe. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I have. I kind of have seen that. Yeah.
And like, not everything's gonna be like a Last of Us Part Two, or like a God of War, right? Like, and that's fine.
Or a Zelda Breath of the
Or a
Wild.
Zelda Breath of the Wild, like, or an Elden Ring. It's not gonna like change
Or,
it's not gonna change the bar for you, like raise the bar for you.
or
But
Sonic the Hedgehog.
or Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Um, it's
Or Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania is a
I
fucking
went
great
back.
game.
I went back to play a bit of that. I was like, oh.
So sometimes a game is just going to be Fall Guys, right? It's colorful and it's fun, and that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, I would say a better analog is like in the same way that like Free Guy was, obviously because of its more overt references, to such video games. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is like the Fortnite of video games in a way. Like, sorry, the
Cool.
Fortnite of movies. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, is the
Sonic the
Fortnite
Hedgehog
movies.
2 is the Fortnite of video games.
It's got the dumb dances. It's got the pop culture references that'll be outdated, in a minute. It's
Sure.
yeah. Well
Things
worth
can be
seeing.
fun.
It's fun. Things can just be fun and colorful. I love color. It's vibrant. I could see everything that was going on, and I was like, "This is a nice change. This is beautiful." Even if it's still weird seeing that, and part of the charm again, seeing like Idris Elba's spoilers, Knuckles in the movie played by Idris Elba, a weird performance, but actually kind of note perfect.
Brilliant.
And Colleen O'Shaughnessy playing Tails, voicing from the games, fits great as well. Reaching out like the big like mascot hand as the reveal out of like a portal or whatever is like
Sure.
oh Jesus, like so weird, it's so wrong, but like so okay, I can't look away. Oh,
That is
shall
so cool.
shall we
So
spin dash to
we're gonna
story?
we're gonna spin dash to, this is a new thing, Joe. You haven't been on the podcast since we started doing this. We're gonna spin dash to halftime. And what is halftime? Halftime is Indie Game of the Week. And then we'll get back to the news. Indie Game of the Week. Moody normally does this, so I guess I'll have to do it. It's the thing. We do the thing. We talk about a cool indie game that's coming out at some point in the future. This week's Indie Game of the Week was dropped in the Discord by Moody. His like last act before he disappeared off to his new job. He'll be back. It's fine. And it's called Swordcery. Swordcery. Swordcery is a roguelike melee-based action RPG. Test your metal, but also your metal, as you discover and unleash the power behind a multitude of magic swords to defeat an otherworldly celestial evil. Your quest will challenge your reactions, lead you through treacherous biomes, and pit you against the most formidable enemies and bosses. A giant blade has plunged into the earth, bringing a hail of smaller blades along with it. The calamitous sword stabbed into the mountains seems to be draining the power of the earth itself, and with each passing day the rain of swords grows heavier and heavier. To undo this foul corruption, you'll play as Colt, an unwitting hero who has gained the ability to wield the fallen blades. Swordcery is developed and published by Temple Door Games. It's coming to PC via Steam at some point in the future. There's a link to the Steam store page in the description, wherever you got the podcast. So go wishlist it. Go watch the trailer. Go check out the screenshots. Mooney dropped it in. So he got me with this one in like one GIF. You know how like developers will post GIFs on Twitter. And all he did was he showed me the GIF, and it's a GIF, and there's this little dude in this little game. He's bobbing along, and he's got a sword 5-6 times the size of him,
Yeah,
swinging around.
There is still something, like, even as someone who has still never properly played any Final Fantasy game, there's still something about like the Buster Sword and Cloud being a smaller anime dude. So totally, and I'm watching the trailer, the Kickstarter trailer for Swordcery now. You can still pledge to miss the campaign, but wishlist it on Steam. Um, yeah, it raised its goal on Kickstarter. So people are in for it,
It's
and
happening.
it looks really I mean, who doesn't love swords, right?
Right? It's a game full of swords. It's literally raining swords from the sky. And we love here at Words About Games. We love to talk about indie games. We don't talk enough
Yes,
about indie games.
no, precisely, which is why I was glad to spotlight games like Bullion, which will
Bullion,
be available
baby.
in the future. Bullion Baby, Grapple Dog, go get it from Super Rare Games. It's on
It's out
basically
now.
every platform as well. It's out now. And yeah, Monstrum 2, if you love asymmetrical survival horror, you want to be a monster or help escape from one, it'll be a fun game. Hopefully,
Don't
that comes out in time for Halloween.
I don't know if I want to
Um,
be a monster so much as I want to be stepped on by a monster, but that's a whole other
ah,
conversation.
yes, you can definitely be stepped on by some of the monsters in this game.
Oh
Um,
no.
and um, And I think the first game is available now as well. The original Monstrum, which is just single player and is more survival horror-y. So indie games are cool, guys. Oh, and actually, can I do a quick indie game shout out as well?
Sure can.
To another
I'll
one.
put this down.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, you said I could get stepped on by the monsters, so I held up the sounds game insane.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it. I was looking
It's
at the
okay.
Swordcery
It's
stuff.
okay.
A game that Team 17 did also show at WASD. I didn't play it there, but my friend gave me a preview build, so I have played about the
I
first hour of the preview build.
know what you're gonna say.
Batora Lost Haven.
This is on my wish list. This looks
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Amy put it on their wish list after I was it after I'd streamed it or had
Um,
you already were you aware of
I'd
it?
already heard of it, but I was
Yeah,
happy to lurk in your stream while you were playing it. It was nice to see it be played.
yeah, because unfortunately the name and the marketing for this game is not doing any favors. I
Sure,
maybe talk
sure,
to Team
sure,
17
sure.
about that. They had nothing but lovely things to say about everything to go on there. No scoops here. So, yeah, Batora focuses on Avril. You are the heroine who has been given the powers of sun and moon after the world has fallen apart, and you're gonna try and help put it back together in some way while searching for your friend Mila, who's communicating to you via it's either some kind of telepathy or connection. And it has hilarious writing and narration, fantastic performances. It feels because it has the kind of talking heads, very well designed character, like not sprites, but 2D art of like a Hades. It's got kind of that vibe. It is
Hades, I'm
not
in.
a yeah.
Said
It
the
is
magic
yeah.
word.
Yeah. It is not the same die again, repeat. Gameplay as Hades, but it is a like hack and slash action RPG where you can put different runes into to buff or debuff the push and pull of what are you going to do to develop your combat skills
Sure,
of
sure, sure.
sun, which is like a big like kind of like a big sword made of like the sun's flames or whatever, and
Sounds badass.
moon, which are mental attacks, and you have two separate health bars for each. So using the sun attacks drains your energy for the sun, and if you take and the enemies are it's like an Ikaruga or other games where you have to like alternate between attacks for different enemies, different attacking styles, I should say. The yellow enemies are coded for the sun, and the purple enemies are coded for the moon and the mental energy. So you deal more damage if you use the corresponding attack style.
Sure, sure.
And it's not my type of game. It would have not even been on my radar. I remember, I think, seeing it in like maybe the Indie World Showcase or something like that.
That was something, yeah.
Yeah. But it was one of those ones that passed me by because I was like, looks fine. Batora Lost Haven, kind of almost a who cares, like another, fantasy game about whatever. But it is worth your time. Definitely wishlist it and check out some gameplay of it, not just the trailers, which, as I say, do it a bit of a disservice in terms of its tone. And also, was by the end of my hour I spent with it or so. I'm going to play more. I was starting to connect with the story and the writing more than I expected as well. So definitely one to look out for when it comes out. Hopefully later this year, 2022 release window.
Hopefully later this year. There you go. That's the the thing we're doing for the 300th episode of the podcast. It's a double header of
indie games.
Indie games of the week. Indie games of the week. Go check out all the links in the description down below. Go wishlist some cool ass fucking indie games. But Joe, I think it's time to get back to the meat of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
To scroll back up, let's celebrate some BAFTA 2022 Game Award winners, because that was a thing that happened. I've got all of the winners here. I don't know where you coming from on this one, but I've kind of like, we've done this like 3 or 4 times, like different awards winners, so I've kind of said a lot about some of these games. But I'm just going to read through the things. If I've got something to say, I will start talking. If you've got something to say about a game, just start talking. Yeah, we'll see where we end up.
I can say things about all of these games that I haven't played.
Sure.
No, I know the internet loves that.
There's a whole fucking YouTube industry dedicated to that shit. So the winner of best game will start off right at the top. The top award was Returnal, which was a surprise. Not because I don't think Returnal's a great game. It was never in that meta of like all of the other award shows.
I think it was in the conversation, but it did just get snubbed by every other award show almost, didn't it? It was just like, it came out early last year, earlier, I should say, and yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, by all accounts that are not mine, Returnal is a hard but very good game.
Hard game. I hated it, but I loved it, so you know.
Them's the breaks.
Moody, whenever I bring up Returnal, Moody always loves to remind me that he would get a text off me saying, "I'm fucking done with this game. I'm sick of it." And then he would get a text. He would get a text like 3 hours later, and it would be like a picture or something. And I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm still playing it." And that went on for like a week. I rage quit that game so many times.
I do that with Fortnite. It's like, I'm done.
That's fair. I'm never playing this again.
But here I am.
And then here we are.
100+ hours in.
God damn, that's a lot of hours. EE's Game of the Year, which I'm really happy about, voted for by the public. Unpacking.
I still need to play this.
Yes.
And maybe I'll play it and complete it when I've finished unpacking my real life.
So I played Unpacking on the day me and Beauty recorded a Game of the Year podcast. And it was my number 3 game of the year, and
awesome.
It's fucking amazing. It also won the best narrative.
And it's on Game Pass, I believe.
It is still on Game Pass. Yeah. It won best narrative. It's a game about putting things away. That's it. There's no dialogue. And it won a best narrative because, and I agree with it. It had a fucking amazing story which it told through objects, so like putting things away and like in various different like apartments. It told a story through it that really hits, and I love that. I was really happy that the public voted for an indie game for Game of the Year. Go public. You know what? I talk shit on you a lot, but
I think that the BAFTAs draw an audience which is fortunately not necessarily the true mainstream popular audience, if that makes sense.
Sure. That makes sense.
Which is great.
Which is good.
Bringing attention to more diverse, different, and unique smaller voices.
Which we love.
Small, not meaning bad. We do love to see it.
Small is good.
Small is very good.
Small is good. Best British game was Forza Horizon 5. Best debut game was Toem, which I didn't play, but it looked really nice.
Oh, Toem did look very nice.
Just it's one of those things, Josh. So many games come out, you gotta make choices and
many games.
So many games. You should see my backlog. Game Beyond Entertainment, Before Your Eyes. Really cool game. It's if you haven't heard of it, it's controlled with a webcam and blinking.
And yeah, it literally tracks your eyes, I believe.
It does, yeah. I did play this.
It made a friend of mine who doesn't really cry, streamer Robo Desert, cry.
It's heartbreaking.
And there is an amazing clip of him crying, and then when he's finished the game, and then realizing when they say so that the devs were in the chat the whole time watching him play.
Love that.
Which is
Love
so adorable. He's like, the devs,
Oh my god.
shut
I love
Yeah.
that. I've had that happen a couple of times where like the devs have turned up in each chat, and it's just
So cute.
it's so
amazing.
cool. Like, I love game devs. You know what? Like,
I love hey,
them.
video games are cool, aren't they?
Video games are cool, and the people that make them are cool. You know what?
People that make games, not just the YouTube channel.
Amy, the actual people. Amy's having a small tangent. You know what I always find weird on like social medias or like Twitch and Twitter and stuff is like, I'll do an indie game of the week and I'll say like, hey, this week's indie game of the week was Swordcery, this you know, and like tag the developers and stuff, or like I play a game or I'll review a game and the developers always come back to me like and go, oh, thank you, and I'm like, thank me? Are you kidding me? Like in my head, I'm always just like, thank me, I did nothing. Like, you made a game.
My
Thank
friend, in a similar way to that, my friend last night said thank you to me for something, you know, in a emotional, deep moment kind of part of our interaction. He said thank you, and I was like, no, thank you, and he was like, shut up. It's like, I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you.
That's how I feel. That's just how I feel.
And also it's like I genuinely like I sat through the credits of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not just for there is a post-credit scene for those who want to stay to the end as well. That is actually not like a proper post-credit scene. The credits look amazing. They do the cool 2D animation thing again they did with the first one.
Cool.
Really good fun. Cool. The first Sonic the Hedgehog mixed bag that it is also on Netflix. So, you know, if you want to brush up before you go see it. Anyways, tangent. I genuinely like I try always to like sit through the credits and look at the names of the people. So many, whether it's, you know, tens or dozens upon hundreds of thousands of people work to make things that bring us joy and entertainment and change our lives sometimes. And, you know, their lives that's their day to day, but they are going through everything that we're going through, and sometimes even worse in a lot of cases, as we may go on to discuss.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Let's leave the tangents on. Best game design was Inscription. Fair enough. Best original property, It Takes Two. Best animation, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which also got technical achievement. That game looks so amazing, and it is a technical achievement.
I feel so bad at the thought I just had. I was like, they're cheating. They've had years to develop this art style, and now they've just got really good technology for it. It did look incredible, and the game. It's just it is one of the best Ratchet and Clanks. So I hear.
Yeah, on the PS5 with the way the rifts work, like. You know, like he uses like the SSD stuff, and it's just like it just instantly pops you up in a different place, and it's just like fucking hell. Games are amazing.
Yeah,
I love a moment. I love a good moment where you just think, "Fuck, games are amazing!" Like it's so cool. Artistic achievement, The Artful Escape.
I have yet to play it, but I really want to. I think it's still on Game Pass. I hope so. It just looks gorgeous.
It just looks cool.
and it is a game about art, music, like. In the creative experience. So, yes. Weird then that we go on to best music, Returnal.
Best audio achievement, Returnal. To be fair, the audio in Returnal, like I think I called this out.
The sound design.
Some point. The sound design.
Did the music stay with you?
So the music is very, very like atmospheric and moody, as opposed to sort of like something like you might find like Nier, for example. Where it's like, you know, big orchestral like themes and stuff. This was very sort of like carrying an atmosphere. Yeah. Apart from like there is like one boss fight in Returnal which is heavily tied into music. If you know, you know. It's genuinely an incredible moment. Yes. But it was the one award I think I remember saying that the Game Awards nailed for me personally, where they gave the best soundtrack to Nier Replicant, because that game's music made me cry. Never mind the game itself. So,
nice.
But like, yeah, it's cool. I might say like, oh, I don't necessarily agree with any of the like some of these winners and stuff, but they're still fucking great games, and like
Oh yeah,
people love
no,
them. So
it's an embarrassment of riches these past couple of years,
hell
really.
yeah, it is. We got a few more here. Best performer in a leading role, Jane Perry as Celine in Returnal, which I did not see coming because I just assumed the big tall vampire lady was going to win all of these awards this past 6 months.
She did win. She
She
did win
did.
some of them.
She did win some of
She
them.
should have won all of them.
Ah,
Lady D.
I recall, yeah.
We hardly knew the.
Well, I hardly knew thee because we were running for our lives.
You step on us again and again.
Please, 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 please. I love the collective thirst that happened last year. It was amazing to see. Who doesn't love a good, tall, domineering vampire woman who just wants to fucking kill you?
Yes.
Celine was also. I just feel like I should say something about like Jane Perry. Jane Perry did a great job as Celine in Returnal.
Yes.
Best performer in a support role, Kimberly Brooks as Hollis Forsyth in Psychonauts 2. A lot of people love this game. I couldn't get into it, so I can't really say anything about this, but cool, good.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Kimberly. And Hollis Forsyth as the character. No clue who you both are. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm uncultured.
Best multiplayer game, It Takes Two. Best family game, Chicory: A Colorful Tale. I was banging the drum about this game all year last year. Chicory is a fucking incredible game. I'm so glad it's got some recognition.
I definitely want to play it.
It's so good.
And it is nice that even though I think you can play Chicory on Switch,
You can.
it's multiplayer and family are two categories which Nintendo are often up for. So like, and even as a Nintendo fan, it is nice that they're going to original games rather than
yeah.
Super Mario Party, which is one of my favorite multiplayer experiences, but it is the same as before, really. Isn't it?
Yeah. Like, well, it's like, I mean, it's
Same
the
but
joke
different.
at the Game Awards, isn't it? Where it's like the best family. Don't you just mean best Nintendo game? Lastly, the best evolving game was No Man's Sky. Fair enough. Like, I remember playing that game when it came out, and I played it again when the PS5 came out. I downloaded it on my PS5 and I played it for like 30 hours in a week. And like it's a really, really, really good game now. So
it is incredible that, and I'm so pleased that through all the stumbles at the start, the team at Hello were able to just pull it off, keep it going. It's got its community, and that is also coming to Nintendo Switch this year. So everything's
somehow I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be cool as fuck. Like, imagine me playing.
I mean, to be able to take it with you, yeah, like, that's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fucking nice. Gonna be cool. Yeah, that was the BAFTAs. Congratulations to everybody that won. You all deserved it. I'm very proud of you. Now,
and also, but I will just say as well, from even just cursorily seeing on my Twitter feed, the BAFTAs in terms of presenters, as well as awards being given out, different awards for sort of like, rising stars of like content creators. I think it was something like that. There was an actually let me just check and shout that out real quick. Because NNE Saga was
I know them.
Yeah, there you go. So because they were promoting it pretty hard, but I sort of like almost missed the boat on it. Not missed the boat, but it was happening at the same time as all the WASD stuff. I didn't even know the BAFTAs were happening. So
I literally just copy pasted this from gamesindustry.biz. So
there we go. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it was nice. Oh no, that was it. Oh yeah, it was the Stephanie and Nanoma of she was a co-founder of NNA Saga. Her journey of being a +1 in 2019 at the BAFTA Games, and just like now presenting the EE Game of the Year award as a woman, a strong, amazing creator and woman of color. Fantastic to see. We love that representation.
We love that representation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we do. So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative with going through going through these news stories, but I'm afraid it's time for the sunglasses to come off. And not just because we're in serious mode, it is also because I need to read now.
And also,
everything looks really bright.
It is what it is. I'm just gonna open up my window once more. Too cold outside to open it, but also I'm really hot.
But yeah, it's like we're in that sort of phase where it's like awkward. We gotta open it for a bit, then close it, then open it, then close it, then open it, then close it. Speaking of awkward, let's get into some news stories. Ubisoft is doubling down on in-game NFTs despite everybody hating them. Pick this story purely for the headline. This is from Kenneth Shepard over at Fanbyte. He writes, Ubisoft announced it would no longer be releasing new content for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. What wasn't specified in the announcement was whether or not it was also done adding NFT content to the game, or digits, as Ubisoft calls the product of its fake digital scarcity. So GamesIndustry.biz asked for clarification on whether Breakpoint would receive any more NFT content as part of the company's Ubisoft Quartz initiative. While the Ghost Recon game might be done with any such content, the company is still jazzed about putting NFTs in everything else under its umbrella, despite backlash both externally and internally within the company. In a statement issued at GamesIndustry.biz, Ubisoft sent a screenshot from the Ghost Recon Breakpoint section of the Ubisoft Quartz site, which simply thanks those who bought the NFTs in a game it's no longer adding content to, and tells people to expect more content like it in other games. Directly below the quote are listings for 7, quote, sold out, end quote, digital products such as a helmet, gun, and pants that feature unique serial numbers proving that you own this digital thing. Wink emoji. Quote, thank you to all Ghost Recon Breakpoint players who claimed their first digits. You own a piece of the game and have left your mark in its history. As the last digit for Ghost Recon Breakpoint was released on 3/17/2022, stay tuned for more updates with features to the platform and future drops coming with other games, end quote. Yeah. So everybody, who keeps telling me about how cool NFTs. We own a piece of the game, and then there was that whole thing of, so what happens when the game gets shut down? Because you kind of own something that you'll never be able to use again. So
it'll be like there'll be an extra verse added to Billy Joel's Piano Man, and it's just sort of like and he's sitting at the bar screaming, I bought the first Ubisoft digit in Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Why? My Ghost Recon pants.
Oh, God.
Honestly, you'll love to see it. I hate NFTs. I hate NFT pros. And I get emails now, Joe. So I have a Words About Games email address. And I got an email a couple of months ago, which was from one of those I get them every now and again, where it's just like, hey, we want to put a blog post on your blog about NFTs and how cool they are. We've looked at your content and we think we'd be a great fit. I was like, have you really looked at my content?
I don't think you have copy paste email.
Oh dear, we'll pay you. No, I'm good, thanks.
Hey, how about you pay me and I don't have to do that?
How about you pay me and then you stop shilling for NFTs? That sounds like a good deal to me.
Yes.
Yeah. I just
we're done, and I do hope that at least unfortunately, Ghost Recon Breakpoint was going to be going away regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
The game did not do what it needed to do. From what I understand. I do think that...
I think it was the last Ubisoft game I've played.
It's just, yeah. No, what was the last Ubisoft? Just Dance probably was the last Ubisoft game. Actually, no, the last Ubisoft game I played was Zombie U, which I purchased as a pre-owned copy for my Wii U. And it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I remember that game. It is fun.
But yeah, Ubisoft, be better. Stop making NFTs. Fix your workplace. The
usual. We're still here. Okie dokie. Next news story. Excuse me. Union calls out Activision for undermining strike effort by not including Raven workers in pay rise. This is from Rhiannon Beavan over at The Gamer, who writes, as reported sometime last week, Activision Blizzard will be giving more than 1,000 QA workers full-time jobs. This came after numerous reports of contracted testers being mistreated in the workplace, with many alleging that full-time jobs were often promised in exchange for excessive overtime. Ow, I just nosed my fucking microphone. But never given. Ugh. That's how mad I am at Activision. Despite the good news, however, it was quickly discovered that the win would not include Raven Software QA contractors, as they are currently engaged in unionization efforts. Today, the Communications Workers of America, a union that has been assisting Activision workers for some time, has criticized the gaming giant for this galling decision. The union says that Activision's claim that granting workers full-time contracts while they unionize would breach the National Labor Relations Act is, quote, disingenuous, end quote. The group further says that this is, quote, clearly an effort to divide workers and undermine their efforts to form a union, end quote, urging Activision to extend the job offers to workers who have been the most vocal in the push for better conditions at the company. I've got a quote here from CWA Secretary-Treasurer Sarah Steffens, quote, make no mistake, all credit for Activision Blizzard's latest move to give all temporary and contingent QA team members full-time employment and a raise should go to the workers who have been organizing, mobilizing, and speaking out. It's especially galling that Activision has excluded Raven Software QA workers who have been at the forefront of this effort from these benefits. Activision's disingenuous announcement is further evidence of the need for workers to have a protected voice on the job. We strongly urge Activision Blizzard to rectify this situation and respect Raven QA workers' protected right to organize under the law, end quote. And then there's some shit about what Activision said. We don't care about that. So it's just union busting tactics.
Yep.
Basically.
The Activision word salad response that we no doubt got, it's
bullshit. We call that in the professional circle.
Why can't they? Why can they not just make it right?
At this point, I don't even know. I don't even know why they are the way they are at this point. Like, money, probably, because capitalism. But, I mean, surely it would just be easier for them to just fucking just give everyone the pay rise and the full-time contract. But no, we're gonna use this as a union busting tactic. Like, if I was trying to organize a union and I was at Activision Blizzard, or Raven, sorry, as a QA worker, and I saw literally everybody else get a full-time job and a pay rise, I would be like, damn, I really need a union.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's big talk, big issues in the game industry around unionization.
Sure.
Unions run not by the companies that you work for.
Yes.
Is good. Yeah, do what you can to support unionization in every industry, let alone just video games.
Yeah, looking at you, Amazon, Starbucks, everybody else. Unionize everywhere. But in this instance with Activision, like, they're trying to like sort of point at it and say, well, because you guys are unionizing, you can't have the job and the pay rise. But what I hope the people who the QA testers at Raven who are trying to unionize will take away from this is, without union representation, like, Activision can do whatever the fuck it wants. If it doesn't want to give you specifically a pay rise or a full-time contract, they just don't have to. There's no reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
A union representation would have actually helped in this regard. So I hope this doesn't like make anyone waver in their quest for unionizing, because I truly feel that if Raven's QA department can pull this off, this is that first domino just falling over into all the other dominoes. That's what I hope. Please let it be the first domino. Okay, we've got a really long story here. But I feel like I tried to like narrow it down a bit, and I was like, no, all of this information seems important. So get ready to hear me talk for a little bit. Riot Games tells workers to return to office without vaccine or mask requirements. This is from Patrick Klepek over at Vice Waypoint, who writes, League of Legends developer Riot Games is asking employees at its Los Angeles headquarters to return to the office without requiring masks or COVID-19 vaccines, prompting employee fears and even some resignations, according to 2 current employees and 1 former employee who talked to Waypoint. One current employee who asked to remain anonymous over worries of retaliation said, quote, "I'm angry over it. It's a foolish and pointless policy being done at a poor time and being handled without real guidance, without real guarantee of our safety. We're just playing Russian roulette with Riot's health," end quote. The biggest video game productions are made by thousands of workers, most of whom working in large offices prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the past 2 years, they've transitioned to remote work, leaving game companies struggling to know when employees should head back to the office in the midst of the ebbs and flows of COVID-19, or if the largely successful transition to hybrid and remote work requires a more permanent change. Recently, Riot Games' Chief Security Officer Christopher Himes sent a Slack message to employees who work out of the League of Legends developers' Los Angeles, California office, announcing that Riot was dropping office mask mandates, among other changes to its existing COVID-19 policy. Himes told employees Riot is also dropping required testing for employees who have not provided proof of vaccination, and said the mask change came because Los Angeles was dropping indoor mask mandates. The changes came alongside Riot's broader push to return to its Los Angeles office, which started this week and will continue rolling out based on the demands and needs of the individual projects. Anyone assigned to the LA office must be in the office on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with Monday and Friday being flexible work from home days. Riot Games spokesperson told Waypoint, quote, "Early on in the pandemic, we committed to following the public health recommendations from state and local government entities. Recently, state and local regulations have updated their COVID-19 recommendations, including vaccination and mask mandate requirements, so Riot followed their lead. In accordance with LA County health orders, Riot strongly encourages, but does not require, all individuals to wear a face covering while on Riot's property. That said, we know that some rioters will feel more comfortable wearing masks, and we want our campus to be a place where people feel safe to take whatever precautions best fit their needs. We are encouraging rioters to have open communication and to be empathetic and accommodating towards those colleagues who prefer masking up," end quote. Riot also said it's seen, quote, "a lot of enthusiasm," end quote, from employees about coming back to the office, and outlines additional measures the company is taking to keep workers safe. These measures include a partnership with an outside janitorial team that provides COVID-19 specific cleaning protocols, a MERV-rated air filtration system, contact tracing, daily health risk assessments to enter the campus, and free N95 masks to those who want them. The tension playing out here at Activision Blizzard and society at large is a bigger one without easy answers. A restructured power balance between employees and employers as a result of sustained remote work, and whether governments, local and federal, are changing COVID-19 policies for health reasons or economic and political pressures. We don't know how these policies are playing out across other Riot offices because around the world, including Japan and Singapore, all Waypoint's sources are working out of Los Angeles. One former Riot employee said, quote, "The return to office always loomed over Riot's heads as we went through 2020 and 2021 in a work-from-home environment," end quote. A Riot spokesperson said, quote, "While we hate to lose valuable team members, we've always expected that some Rioters would choose to leave because they wanted to work remotely on a permanent basis. One of the reasons we've been so transparent about our approach is to ensure that Rioters are armed with all of the information they need to make career decisions that are right for them," end quote. Riot's optional masking rule applies regardless of the vaccination status, though anyone who's had close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID is required to wear a mask for 10 days. It also stipulates that those who test positive should not come into work, though there appears to be no way to ensure employees are reporting symptoms, positive cases, or close contacts, according to workers we talked to. The company is also dropping required weekly COVID testing even if the employee has not provided a vaccination status. Additionally, noted Times, Riot employees were encouraged to ask non-masked employees to wear one if it made them more comfortable, putting the onus on employees, not the company, to keep them safe. As mentioned, the company does have masks on site for those who don't have or forget one. One source said, quote, "If I have a 1 hour meeting with 10 people and 7 aren't wearing masks, it will take an inordinate amount of time for all 7 to go get masks and return, wasting a lot of meeting time, which everyone will certainly remember is my fault," end quote. It's a story about Riot Games, but this is really a broader story because like this is starting to happen in a few companies in the games industry and a few companies not in the games industry, which is why I want to include like everything in it because it's like a fucking can of worms. That's a thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a can of worms. The thing I was thinking about is like, this is messy. Like, and it makes a lot of sense. Especially given Riot Games' previous way they've handled their employees and their rights and their decisions that they make.
Indeed.
Almost rhymes in a way, obviously in a different vein with the Activision story.
It does.
And
I mean, I should point out as well as an addendum to this, there was a walkout by Activision Blizzard employees because Activision Blizzard have tried to do something very similar to what we've just talked about. So like it was referenced in the story there, but I just wanted to sort of bolt that on point on at the end of it, where it's like it's not just Riot Games, it's other companies as well.
I think that there needs to just be more choice and respect given to the employees. And I think a lot of the times, and I can speak to this on a personal level,
Sure,
those who are going to end up being affected at their job are not included in the conversations.
no.
It's like management make these decisions, yes, based on following government guidelines, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're a private company, or even if you're a public-facing company, it's like, actually, you can still make decisions that go against something if you,
Sure.
if you know, and there is no reason not to do that, unless you are breaking the law. And it's like, actually, this is a case where it's like, yeah, our country, England, that being, is sort of like the moment. And I'm someone who has been now liking that I can go out more, but I'm doing my best to respect people's space.
Sure.
And it's like if everyone chooses to go to a concert, there is a kind of like a hope and an expectation that even if there is no forced vaccination checks or mandates. It's like that's a choice. I'm choosing to go there and be amongst all these sweaty, unmasked people. That's a choice I made. It's not, and I respect that it is not a choice that everyone's comfortable with, but it's like, that is my life and my choice, and I get to make it. Whereas this is a case of people are being put in a situation they do not want to be put in, and that's wrong. There's almost no two ways about it. It's like there needs to be bigger discussions had about it, right?
For no particular reason as well. Like what you were saying there, I agree with. In terms of, I get it. Like the LA County, like people, I don't know how government works in America, other than it tries to ban trans people from toilets, I guess. But like they're dropping their mask mandate, they're dropping their vaccine mandates. Like cool. Like that's what they're doing, right? But that doesn't mean you have to do that too. Like that's the thing. Like you could use that as a shield to say, well, the LA law says that we don't have to do this, so we're not going to do it anymore. It's like I always say to people who are like bringing this back to the UK for a second, where it's like, oh, well, the government says we don't have to test anymore if we're not feeling well, and it's like, right, but you've met our government, right? Like why would you
have you not been paying attention to our government for the past 2 years, and more before that?
Think for yourself. Like it's
no. They say it, we're following their lead, as I know. No, don't do that. You are leaders in your own right at your company.
For better or worse, you are leaders in this industry as well.
You are leaders in it. Yeah, you're setting an example and setting a precedent. And unfortunately, as you say, it's the bad kind of domino effect.
Yes.
Because other people will just be like, oh well, Riot's doing it.
Well, Riot's doing it, and Activision's doing it, so we should probably do it too.
We all who gives a fuck anymore? And it's like, no, actually, please give a fuck about your employees.
Please do, right?
Because without them, the games are not going to get made. And yes, it's an industry where churn is a huge thing, but
sure, absolutely.
That is ultimately going to hit them. I hope to God where it hurts, and then they realize, but it's too late by that point. People have already quit. People have already uprooted their lives because they're not being listened to.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I said like for no good reason before, and like I'll expand on that a second because like, I mean, you've still been developing League of Legends since March 2020 successfully. So why does everybody need to come back to the campus when people who want to work from home should just be able to work from home? Like, I feel like the pandemic has been and continues to be a terrible thing that has affected a lot of people in very negative ways. But I feel like in certain areas we have made, as a society, have made progress. And I think this is one of the ways in which we've made progress. Like the pandemic has forced us to make progress in terms of work from home, because work from home is a great thing for a variety of reasons. It's not just about people being able to work from their bedroom or their home office or whatever. It's like, hey, if you have trouble getting into work, if you need access, if you have accessibility issues, cool, just work from home. Like, and I don't see this as a problem.
It saves money. It can help, be better for the environment, as we literally saw during the pandemic when we couldn't go outside. It was like, we're not, wildlife was, in a sense, it's like, the birds are back in the trees kind of thing.
Sure,
it was deeper than that, but you know what I mean? Ecosystems were allowed to flourish unfettered by our fucking,
and then we started
our trash and
then we started burning forests down for pictures of apes. Sorry to bring you back down there, Joe, but
no. Hey, it's we do our.
I do not wield my sarcasm sensibly.
I get it. No, neither do I most of the time. So you're fine.
But no, there's no reason. I personally, I don't talk about my day job, and no one knows what I do or where I do it, so that's fine. But I personally cannot do work from home, and that's fine. That's just the job that I'm in, and if I want a different job, I can try and find one. But people who work at Riot Games, people who work at Activision Blizzard, can work from home. It's been proved. It's been proved for the last 2 years. So just let them work
Activision
from home.
alone, what was it, 2020 or 2021? One of the past couple of years, super high profits, and then they fire a bunch of people because
that's just the
people who run it are the goddamn devil. But it's like, if you can do that, then let people do it if they want to. It's actually, in a way, it's actually pretty simple. It's complicated. Simple. There's a lot of way to navigate, but really, yes, it is never that easy. It's murky, but
sure.
Let the people do what they want to do, and funnily enough, because they want to keep their jobs too, they will make it work.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And yes, if you see people start to slip while they're working from home, and they're not up to the standard, talk to them about it. Call them out. Maybe say, hey, you should start coming to the office for a day, maybe.
Let's just try something different,
or try something different. Exactly. It has to be a conversation rather than we're doing this blanket. I think we're sort of we've pretty much run the gamut as much as we can, and the stories will these will continue to develop as well. So,
sure will, and we'll do
the
right
words of our
here.
games will keep a bead on it.
It's fun. We love it so much. Okay. 2 more news stories. I'm going to save the next one for tidbits because we can just do a little thing on that one. I do want to read the last one though. SNK is now almost entirely owned by the Saudi Crown Prince's Foundation. This is from Jay Peters over at The Verge. He writes, SNK Corporation, the developer of games like Metal Slug and Fatal Fury, is now entirely owned by a subsidiary of the Saudi Crown Prince's Foundation, electronic gaming development company, which is owned by Mohammed bin Salman Foundation, which is also called the MISC Foundation, holds 96.18% of SNK's shares, according to a February 15th filing on the SNK's website. This follows, quote, a strategic investment, end quote, announced in November 2020, where the MISK Foundation acquired an initial 33% stake in SNK. At the time, MISC Foundation indicated it planned to eventually take a 51% stake in SNK, but it seems they decided to buy a much larger stake. Recently, Saudi Arabia has made some big investments in the gaming industry. Bloomberg reported in February that Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has taken stakes of more than 5% in both Capcom and Nexon, stakes that combined are worth more than $1 billion. The PIF also invested more than $3.3 billion to buy stock in gaming giants Activision Blizzard, which is set to be acquired by Microsoft, EA, and Take-Two in the fourth quarter of 2020, Al Jazeera reported in February 2021. But the investments carry the weight of Saudi Arabia's recent history of human rights abuses. Most recently, a US intelligence report concluded Mohammed bin Salman approved the plans to, quote, capture or kill, end quote, journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was murdered and dismembered after visiting a Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Riot Games received a wave of criticism for a sponsorship deal with the Saudi megacity Neom and ended the deal less than a day after it was announced. SNK are also developing and publishing a game this year called Metal Slug Tactics, which is it was Ryan actually, Toad's Anime, who retweeted something that caught my attention to what was going on with this. This is how this whole thing came about.
There we go.
About it. So.
Yeah, I had no clue that any of this was going on, so it's good to know. Because I did know that Metal Slug Tactics was coming out again, probably from a Nintendo presentation. But. Yeah, it's just why can't they put them? It's great that like there's so many shares, 96%.
I mean, it's almost all of them, right? Like
you
basically own.
You own the company.
You own the company,
and technically, with the previous plans to take a 51% stake, you do own the company as well in a way, and I don't know much about stakes or stocks or whatever, but like shares, that, you know. Yeah. But I do know that that you know the idea of games industry in general getting more money put into it, so that hopefully people can be paid better.
Sure.
On the bottom level, the people who made it. No, it doesn't work like that, does it?
No.
This is more money for the. I honestly, I personally do not know much about the way that SNK is managed.
Sure.
However,
this is the first time I think they've ever come up on the podcast for me.
And in general, you don't hear many. You hear about them releasing compilations and new games or new versions of games or whatever, but you do not hear this much. But like, strategic investment, that just sounds dodgy.
I mean, so strategic investment. I'll preface this with, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Strategic investment, certainly, it just sounds like image rehabilitation. Like they're trying to get into something that people like, games. Like, I live in the northeast of England, so I've had a lot of difficult conversations about Saudi Arabian owners of certain things because it's kind of a big deal near where I live. If you follow football, like I don't, but I'm sure it's a thing. Yep. But like it's a case of like, hey, we're like committing human rights violations in Yemen. Maybe we should like do something so that people stop talking about that. Well, what if we buy a football club? Well, what if we buy a game developer? And that's how these things work, because now it's like, oh, Metal Slug Tactics, cool, yeah, it's made by these cool Saudi Arabian people. Like, hey, Newcastle United is doing much better, and it's got all the players.
Like, it turns out now Metal Slug is coming to even more platforms. Yeah. Let's say if it wasn't already, or whatever. Metal Slug Tactics 2 is a go after the because they put more money into marketing and everyone buys it. Like,
it's just
the rich get richer, and also, as you say, smoke bomb, distraction tactic.
It's reputation laundering. Like, they're trying
that's oh my god, I've never heard that term, but that's fantastic.
I wish I could take credit for it.
No, it's fantastic though. It really is, and that is right on the money. It's exactly. It feels like and is really. I think if anyone's, even taking the most sort of cursory look at it, and and unfortunately, that's what they're hoping we'll take.
Yeah,
they're hoping people won't dig deeper, because if we've learned anything from treatment of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, it's that they do not want people looking deeper into whatever the hell because there's so much we don't know about the behavior of these people with
like the things we don't know are terrifying. Billions. What don't we know? Like the Christ.
and also what does this mean for not just the kind of the moral question, which is a fairly obvious answer is no. Don't be like Mohammed bin Salman. You know, what does this mean? We won't know until, this is going to mean changes at SNK. I don't know much about them as a studio. I bet the people who work there probably aren't that happy about this either.
Probably not, no. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we're
find
not
out
hearing.
more.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it'll be good to. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So let's move on to some tidbits. We got tidbits. This is the thing. I don't know if we did this the last time you were on the podcast either, Joe, but like we do a little bullet point thing.
a little touching. I don't think we did do this. No.
Yeah, no. So it's just a little bullet point thing. You know, like you want to talk about stuff, you don't want to do a full news story on it. We just talk. We just have a nice little conversation.
And a lot of times it's just announcements, anyway. So,
yeah, we like talking about games on this podcast. We do it sometimes. So yeah, the first one is The Quarry, which is the game coming out, the horror game coming out by Supermassive Games, has a movie mode, so you can watch it instead of playing it. This is really cool. I was reading about it, so you can like input the like characteristics and behaviors you want from all of the characters at the beginning of the game, quote unquote game, and then it plays the game as a movie, so you can just sit back and watch it unfold.
Oh my god, I'm gonna love that.
That's so cool, right?
I'm really hoping that this turns out good, because I love watching horror movies with my flatmate.
Yeah.
And like the idea of like we could choose I don't know, but I like the idea of choosing as you go.
Sure. So like that could be your first playthrough.
Exactly, yeah. But then afterwards it's like, hey, let's rewatch it.
Let's make this character
do
an
this
idiot.
instead,
yeah, and it's like, but you put it all in at the beginning, so you're just choosing like personalities, and then the characters react accordingly as it goes through. And you can just sit there with a bowl of popcorn and watch it play out. And
also a really solid, genuinely really good cast in this. Sorry for the
hell yeah.
I am not yawning though when I think about David Arquette from Scream. Always a Scream. He's a dream. David Arquette. Ooh. Yes, love it. Lance Henriksen, known best for Alien, Lin Shaye from A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Ted, goddamn Raimi, the brother of Sam Raimi. You know him as, I think he does play a character named Ted. I could be wrong. By the way, in the original Spider-Man films, he's somebody's food got poisoned. He's the assistant to J. Jonah Jameson or whatever. And he's always fun in whatever he's in.
Nice.
I have not played enough
I missed last year's game, so
yeah, I've still got to play. What was the original one? Until Dawn,
incredible game.
Yeah, I really want to play that. Yeah, I really want to play that still. So I will hopefully get around to it.
We'll do that, and I'll come and watch. I want to see how it checks out for you. Twitch, that could be a Twitch thing, because I think I would love to watch you play Until Dawn. I've got funnily enough, I've got a funny gaming show story about Until Dawn, but we'll save it for after the podcast. Or just in general. So more tidbits. Housemarque Dev is hopeful that Returnal will find a new audience on PS Plus. I think it will, because people are finally able to buy PlayStation 5s very slowly now. Like the thing that's holding Returnal back is it's a PS5 game. They're quite hard to get.
No. And also I think it did. People loved it, but it didn't really do. And Elden Ring is available on more platforms, obviously. So that's. Maybe if this is, I think, one of the occasions where, like, yes, people loved Returnal, but Housemarque genuinely has had I feel like a rough go of it, almost like critically acclaimed games almost always, right?
A lot of the time, yeah.
But they don't, and it's great that they're doing things, but I remember a few years ago now, they made this announcement like, we're not going to make these type of games anymore because they don't do well. Like, they're not selling, like, they're more bullet helly.
Yeah, I loved some of those games as well. That they made.
Exactly. So,
arcade games, we would call them.
Yeah, more arcadey style games. So, and having just won a bunch of BAFTAs, hopefully, it will find more people to love it.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a couple of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 4 has been announced today. Literally today.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
You're
Kingdom
hearing
Hearts 4.
about a day after it happened.
As breaking
Makes
as you can get on this show.
Exactly. Hell yeah. No. Most certainly. It doesn't have to be pushed to next week, fortunately. It happened before recording. Thanks,
Thanks,
Square.
Square. Thanks.
Have you played Kingdom
I've
Hearts?
never played a Kingdom Hearts.
I'm so pleased. We can be like, yay, people are happy that the Disney Kiwi game is coming getting another one.
I've watched speedruns of the game on when they're at GDQs and stuff, but I've never actually played it.
Amazing.
I'm interested in the next part though, so this is going to be fun. Kingdom Hearts 4 was part of a GeForce Now leak that also claimed a Final Fantasy IX remake was coming. Yes, Moody, you've skipped out on the one podcast where we get to talk about Final Fantasy IX. It's his favorite game.
And yeah, I think it's one of the most shunned or forgotten about, right?
Something like that, yeah.
But it does. What I know about it, I think it's also like Zach. Used to work for IGN, now works for Twitch. Zach Ryan.
Okay.
Zach D on Twitter. I remember him saying when I think just the regular ports, got announced coming to Switch,
sure.
It was like, I love Final Fantasy IX.
Oh yeah, God.
It's either 8 or 9. Here's the thing.
It's probably both.
They're all the same. No. Sorry, Moody. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's his favorite Final Fantasy. It's my sometimes it's my favorite Final Fantasy. It depends on my mood. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 9.
I have Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I have not even started it.
Remake's so good. It's so good. I get mad thinking about how well they nailed that. And then I think about it in the context of this. It's like, well, they could do that for Final Fantasy 9 too.
I'm one of the few people who has watched Advent Children but never played Final Fantasy 7.
That's incredible. I love it.
Doom. I just thought it looked cool. It was the most confusing thing I've ever seen, maybe.
But cool fights though. It's a cool movie.
The music is, of course, Final Fantasy 7. Amazing. One Winged Angel. Come on.
Yeah, you should if you don't play 7 Remake soon, you should at least listen to the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is off the fucking chain good for the remake.
Oh yeah, let's go. We love great music like that.
Oh, do. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Crystal Dynamics has announced a new Tomb Raider game being developed on Unreal Engine 5. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see a new Tomb Raider game anytime soon, so this is cool. Like, I thought Crystal were doing Avengers, and then Square were kind of just doing Marvel stuff with their Western studios. So the fact that they're making another Tomb Raider game, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think I started Rise of the Tomb Raider one time.
Sure.
But no, was it Rise of the... No, it was just Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, and then there was Rise, and then there was Shadow.
Which basically, it did the Planet of the Apes things, where it was like, wait, shouldn't, Dawn come first before Rise? You know what I mean? It was
probably.
Exactly. No, it's the game titles often just drop the ball.
I mean, look at Kingdom Hearts. Some of those game titles are ridiculous.
But at least I remember Dream Drop Distance. I've never played it and never will. 2.5 HD remix.
2.8 HD 2.8 final chapter prologue.
What was it? The numbers 235 over 700 days or whatever.
I'm going on Wikipedia right now. It's just like, come on, give me the good shit. Dream Drop Distance 358 over 2 days.
I love Japan. Again, a lot of these games I'll never play, but I just love how Japan is weird.
Japan is weird, and we love it.
We do love it.
I need to get the notes back up. Remedy Entertainment is remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. Give it to me. I would very much like to play the Max Payne games. I've never. Oh damn!
Never had a chance.
You're in for a treat there. If you like noir, they're so noir.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's think there's that part of me that it's like I feel like, are they going to age well? And I don't doubt Remedy's skill to remake them and being their games and all that sort of stuff. But there is that little part of me that's like, oh, is it just going to feel edgelordy now? Like, you know what I mean? Like in that sense of the Batman,
Maybe.
like it's too dark and gritty for its own good.
Maybe because that is kind of the point.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I mean, the game is called Max Payne. Wasn't so?
Yeah, it's. I didn't think about the fact it's in his name, and
it's the meme from Gotham Rangers Dark Place. I know writers who use subtext in there. Cowards.
Yes, that's so good. Love a Dark Place reference.
I mean, yeah, I'll take anything Remedy throws down because like Control is one of my favorite games. Like,
just you know what, just cool games. Remedy is always oozed
cool as
style.
fuck games. Yes.
Cool as hell.
Cool AF. Former PlayStation US boss says he wishes Sony had supported the Vita more. So do we all, Jack. So do we all. Too late now, though, isn't it?
I wish it, and I was never going to have a Vita.
Oh, I had a Vita.
Handheld gaming's awesome. Just, you should have,
It was too beautiful for this world.
Too pure. Gone too soon. Will you remember Vita?
Was an accident actually that I even got one. I was I got a tax refund check, and it cleared like a week before PS4 came out. So I was like, oh, I'll buy a PS4. And it's like super difficult to pre-order a video game console like a week before it comes out. But I found one, and it was a bundle with no games, but a PlayStation Vita. So I was like, I'm taking it. I'll just get the Vita. So I had a Vita, but I didn't have any games for my PS4 for like 3 days.
Was there nothing built in?
I had the PS Plus games, so I played Resogun and a game called Contrast. So mostly Resogun.
Right? Did Resogun?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. It was incredible.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I had a Vita by accident, and then I played some fucking like Tearaway. I played Tearaway on my PlayStation Vita. That was my game of the year that year. It was so good.
Yes.
Last year. Oh yeah. Elden Ring's world record is now, like, for world record speed, is at just over 12 minutes. I watched this. I watched this on my lunch break. It's 12 minutes long. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'll have to find that and watch it because
I'll link it.
Definitely do, please. Elden Ring is the game that doesn't deserve to. It just will not die. Like, people just still finding cool shit in it, cool shit to do.
Like,
I don't know. A lot of people have said to me like, "Oh, I didn't like Dark Souls, but I love Elden Ring," and I'm just like,
okay, cool.
You know what? I like not being punished at the moment. Like, I like
That's fair.
easy. I like fun. I like enjoyable. Like, it's Fortnite is a comfort blanket, and it's not that good at the moment. But yeah, thank you. I will enjoy watching that speed running.
It's good. I love speed running. But I know, like, Elden Ring is so good that I've been meaning, like, it's been on my mind to go, I could just do another playthrough of that game.
Could just play it again.
Just play it again. You've already beat it once. Like, you beat it again.
It's like Resident Evil. It's like Resident Evil 4. I'm like, I could always just play Resident Evil 4 again.
Like, always play Resident Evil again.
Yeah. And speaking of
Resident Evil Village was supposedly going to have evil mermaids in it at one point, and now I'm very angry. Why?
I'm extremely angry why they didn't get this.
Why?
Why did you have other parts of the game that weren't as good? Because I didn't finish it. I got past House Beneviento, and I was like,
traumatized.
No, not just traumatized, but genuinely very happy with that section because it was.
It's
like one of the best sequences and levels in a game that I've ever played.
Sure.
The best sections of a game, let's call it. And I was like, I think it's downhill from here.
It was. I mean, like, and I say this as someone who enjoyed Resident Evil Village and liked the stuff it was doing, but like it hit such a high point that it was downhill. Downhill to still like being a really good game, but still that's still downhill, right? Like
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think I still want to finish it because I did really like 7 apart from the boat. Everyone likes the
no one
boat.
likes the boat.
No, nobody likes the boat. But yeah, evil mermaids? Are you kidding me?
Why didn't I get Evil
Like it's
Mermaids show?
I just want Resident
Like
Evil 9 or
sure,
whatever it is to like just lean the fuck in. Like give us the
everything.
next Resident Evil 4 where it's like it's the perfect B movie
Sure.
horror action balance.
Like yeah,
Like it's like that's why I still go back to that.
from my
It's like
point of
'cause
view. Oh no,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Like
No,
because
I've rambled.
mine's just an extended. It's an extended piece of sarcasm that lands with a joke, but I'll go for it anyway. Like
It is.
my problem is like so like when they made Resident Evil 6, I remember the director of Resident Evil 6 was talking about like we're going to make the ultimate horror experience by making all of them all at once, and it was a train wreck because they tried to make all of them all at once, and like you were so close to having the ultimate horny horror game in Resident Evil Village, and you just skipped the evil mermaids.
Yeah,
Joke
I
sounded
think
better in my head.
no. I like it. I like it. And also, it's like, yeah, you could have had, horny horror
You
game
could have had
with
everything.
with the one really fucked up scary level,
Yes.
House Beneviento, and then everyone would
Yes.
still be talking about the level, but then it's
Sure.
like and then they get back to
Sure.
the horny stuff, and it's great.
And then it's like, hey, yeah, like I'm feeling really, really freaking scared right now. But then like horny mermaids try to kill, evil mermaids try to kill you, and it's like, oh, cool, I'm back to thirsting over all of the characters in this
Yeah,
game. It's great, we're good.
and I think that is something that I do kind of miss from older games and stories, the more linear games. Um, back in the day, is like the foe that you kind of face multiple times throughout.
Sure, sure,
But they always get away. Like that happens in Resident Evil 4 with
sure.
Salazar,
Yeah,
with an or
little shit.
characters that yeah. Oh my god, he's amazing though. He's
Oh,
such
yeah.
oh, I'd love to hate him. But like Chief like I think it's Torres Mendez or something like that. You never really even hear
Sure,
his name,
sure,
but
sure.
he he is an intimidating figure, a scary figure for that first sort of like villagey part of the game. And the boss battle with him is great. And then you kill him and it's done.
Everything's on fire.
Exactly. And everything is on fire. Oh my god, yes. But yeah, the Lady D spoilers kind of could have been that, I think, and should have been that, I really think, for Resident Evil Village.
Yeah,
There was no way that Lady D was gonna like that was, and that was the unfortunate thing is the marketing kind of made it feel as though she was
sure.
the
I get
big
that.
bad.
It's a shame she wasn't. I mean, she was the big bad. It's a shame she wasn't chasing you through the whole game, though.
Yeah, exactly. They should have had her be Mr. X, really, shouldn't they?
Mrs. X.
Anyway, Mrs. X, yes.
Right, so we got to do quick games out this week. We're going to do a quick OpenCritic head-to-head, and then we're going to get out of here because we're running pushing up on time. But we always are. That's what this podcast is about.
So good.
Games out this week. On April 12th, Baota comes to PC, a 2D Metroidvania action platformer set in a mining colony infected by an alien plague. In Baota, you can choose your hero, fight gruesome monsters, and customize your 8-bit retro experience with swappable 4-color palettes. Sounds interesting.
It does.
That sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Great, look it up.
That's what I love about this section of the game. It just gets people going, oh, I'm gonna check this out.
When you Google something, it's like it's not coming up. It's like
you have to go directly to.
Okay, it's developed. But the developer of Biota is Small Bros, which I love the name of that. And it's published by Retro Vibe, so
It's got a retro vibe.
Oh, the pics. If you are horny for pixel art, go look at the pixel art for Biota. It is gorgeous. Oh, I'm gonna wishlist this.
Wishlist.
Put it on Switch.
Put it on Switch. Also
Go
on
on.
April 12th, we have Symphony coming to PC. Memories linger across time deep under Symphony Island. Explore a massive cave network linked with unidentified species and unravel scientific and spiritual mysteries, all under the watchful eye of an ancient presence by the creators of Anodyne 1 and 2. Anodyne 1 and 2. Not Anodyne.
Got it.
Lastly, on April 14th, Crimesight comes to PC. Who done it? Or who will do it? A new mystery simulation game with player versus player action arrives on the crime scene. In Crimesight, players will face off against each other in a battle of wits. In this clash of good and evil, who can outsmart their opponent and come out on top? This was at the Future Game Show a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped to talk about this at length with Mooney. It looks really cool. I did not realize it was coming out so soon. Rip my bank account, because I'm probably going to have to buy this, and if I want to play it, I'm probably going to have to buy it for other people as well. The life of enjoying video games. So that's it. That's all that's coming. It's a light week, which I can respect as somebody who has a massive backlog because of all the non-light weeks that have happened. But it's time to very quickly move on to
Before we do, though, there
Okay.
is a Biota demo on Steam which I have just downloaded.
Nice.
So you go download that again. Amazing pixel art. So yeah. Anyways, OpenCritic.
OpenCritic head to head, baby. This is the game. Myself and Moody. This is the game we play every single week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever gets as closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, myself and Moody tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I guessed it would get a 73. Moody guessed it would get an 80. For everybody who was here, like who saw that, who didn't see what I did last week, I closed my eyes and ran my finger over the keyboard, and that was how I got my number. Because I had no idea whether this was going to do well or not do well or whatever. So like,
I would have veered on the 8 out of 10 side. Like,
I left it to the chance, and the chance failed me because
you rolled the dice.
I rolled the dice. I just chaos. It got an 82, which means Moody gets the point and puts the current scores at Amy 6, Moody 7. We've had no guests. You're the first guest who gets to play this game in 2022. Because this week, we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of the game. We just talked about Crimesight. I don't really know much about this game. Never. Oh, okay. I was just badgering Moody because he said, "Oh, I'll give you my score." I didn't realize he could just put it straight in the document, so I've just been badgering him on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Messenger, being like, "Yo, where's the score, dude?" And I've just scrolled down and realized he's put it in. But Mr. Joe Medforce, what do you think? What do you think of this game that nobody really knows anything about?
I've just heard of.
Yeah.
God, I think with 1,000 followers for it on Twitter, you might struggle to. To be fair, it's got anime in it. Like
it's an anime PvP crime game, and it's like a future Sherlock Holmes thing. Like there's a Sherlock and there's a Moriarty, and there's an Irene Adler.
Oh wow! What?
And it's anime. And
it's very anime. There's so much going on in this character art. Like I feel like I'm
very all over the place.
Yeah, it's I am gonna sit it at a 68.
Ooh,
not 69. Because it doesn't look nice to me. It's just.
I've done that so many times. It's ridiculous. Okay, so Moody has guessed a 73. He's put it in the Google Doc. So you know what? I'm looking at the two scores that you've got, and I'm thinking you're probably right on the money. Like I would hang around in that sort of 70 area, but like that 70 area is pretty crowded, Joe. So what I like to do in a situation like this is why I always have trouble with this fucking game. By the way, like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go high on you, just in case. So like I stake out like the high ground or the low ground just in case it defies all of our expectations. So I'm gonna guess a 75. That's a 6. 75. There we go. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stake out the high ground just in case it goes above where we're all thinking. And that's it. That's episode 300 of the Words About Games podcast is concluded. We're in the 300s now. And I couldn't have asked for a better co-host.
And I could not have asked to have been here with, I was about to say, a better host. I feel bad now because, of course, Moody will maybe hear this.
To be fair, we were really nice to him in the beginning of the podcast. So I feel like we're allowed.
No. I would, you know what? It would be like two sides of a coin. And also, if Moody was here and you weren't, Amy, who would read the stories when my voice is eternally?
Well, I'll loan you Buzzy, my emotional support, Squishable, and Buzzy can read the stories. I'm sure
we can get an AI that is just trained to be your voice.
We'll do like a text to speech thing, and the text to speech can read it out really awkwardly, and you and Moody can just sit there going.
Perfect. But no, thank you so much for having me. And,
always.
And dealing with my somewhat disheveled. I keep pushing my hair back because I didn't style it because I just washed it, and I'm tired of having my hair styled because I've had a very big, crazy weekend. But
that's fair. You look amazing. You are amazing.
And also, it was really nice to just tell you about all of the experiences that I've had in this past week. Seeing Sonic 2, best movie of the year so far.
Thank you for reminding me you went to WASD because that was such a cool way to kick the podcast off.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, WASD. Look out for it next year when it comes to London. Maybe they'll expand and put it other places. I don't know. But either way, it was a great time. My first time.
Yeah, but I get to come down to London and I get to hang out with you. So I'll just come to the London one. That's where my head's at.
We'll hang out anyways, Amy.
Oh, yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, as you say. Yeah, everyone go follow, like, and subscribe. Words About Games everywhere on the internet.
And Joe Medforce.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, exactly. If you want to see some of my shenanigans at WASD, I will be putting them on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Joe Medforce. And I'm probably going to do like a weirdly narrated and definitely like schizophrenically edited, like what my day. What we did capture of the day at WASD, and trust me, some of the stuff I did in public on the way to and at this event where I was technically there in a creator professional, semi-professional capacity was you don't want to miss it. It's the most fun I've had in a minute, apart from this gargantuan episode 300 of Words About Games where I talk with lovely you, Amy. Thank you again.
No problem. We're gonna say bye now because your voice and needs a rest. It needs a rest. I'm sorry. I need to give you a rest. So we're gonna say
you're all good.
We're gonna say bye. So say bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Bye, people.